someone that is not perfect. You don't have to be perfect to be a total woman. But just like everybody has said, you have to draw your strength from God. You have to draw your wisdom from God. It doesn't mean you have everything figured out. We all have our struggles from day to day, trying to balance everything, trying to, for those that are married, trying to do your work or career and all of that, businesses, and then still trying to take care of your family and everything around you. But one thing that you need to know is that your strength, like we've all said, comes from God. And I find one thing that helps me a lot, it's finding that balance and intentionally creating it for myself. So I know what is important to me, and I always put that first, irrespective of what's going on around me. I think one of the reasons why I chose to work for myself is so that I can, obviously, to an extent, control all the, all the noise and everything. So intentionally making sure that you deliberately plan yourself, plan your time. You might not necessarily follow it through as it should be. In the past I found myself writing, when I was younger rather, writing maybe 9 a.m. to 9:30, do this, 10 a.m. to do this. But then you like, okay, I'm running behind schedule. That puts you under a lot of pressure and stress. But having to say, you know what, today I am not going to go anywhere. I'm spending with my family. Nothing is taking me out of this house today. At work, I need to give this time to work, and then this time to other members of family. It helps a lot in creating that balance and finding yourself. And just like, in addition to everything they've said, finding your passion, where you're good at, and you know that by what you love and how much you love doing what you think you love is another thing to consider. And what else? The part where the woman is definitely not in any way lesser than the man. Fine, Mrs. Ayo was saying, differentiating between the obedience and submission, and to me that works perfectly. That works perfectly. We have to learn to, in our home, if we don't submit when it comes to the area of marriage, we're going to run into problems. You cannot have two heads. God has destined the man as the head. It doesn't mean you are the tail, but you have a role to play that is not his role. So you usually find women going, especially in this day and age, we have so many divorces, unbelievable. And when you're talking to the woman, you find her saying, I have a career, he has his own, we make roughly the same income, this one, that one, and then he comes and says, this is it. And as you sit down, am I a goat? And you're like, okay, you are a Christian. What does the Bible say? Let's go back to the beginning. It's not because of that. It's just because men walk a certain way, especially in marriage, not any other way. Especially in marriage, men walk a certain way. They have a certain role. You cannot, if you fight for that position, it's not going to work. So you have to learn to put yourself not down, but put yourself to the side a bit, to listen and come to agreement. And I find that, as a married woman, your husband will still take your advice, will do what you actually want. It depends on how you present it. For me, there's no decision, I am proud to say, there's no decision that my husband makes that he doesn't carry me along. Because he doesn't consider me as a tail or the loser in the marriage or whatever. Because he understands that headship position and the fact that I am his helpmate. So usually he would say, oh babe, what do you think about this? So he said, okay, I think this is amazing, it's a good idea, but I think we should. And okay, that's like, okay, let's do it the way. So if it depends on how you, but if you are shouting it, that's like, the man will now do that thing, even if it's wrong, just to make you feel bad and to prove you anyway, he will just do it. So we have to be careful when it comes to that aspect. And in every area, stand upright, carry yourself with grace, carry yourself with so much poise, the way God has created you to be. In your career, stand up straight, do all you can and do it well.